So I did the lap out, the last thing, and now I'm pulling George forward so that he is sitting more on the edge of the seat, because we need to get his trunk over his legs so that we're not doing so much of the lift. I really want him to push through his legs. And if his trunk is behind his legs, we're going to literally have to haul him up. So, see, look at, you're so good, George. All right, but I think we're going to get him out even more than this. So he's really kind of sitting on the edge, and this is really important, that his feet are firmly planted flat like on the ground. And a lot of times he'll move them, and you just have to keep undoing them. Okay? So now they're apart. He could probably still be a little bit closer to the edge, so I'm going to give him just a little bit more of a shift. It's okay, honey, you're doing good. Yes. Now, I'm going to hold right here. This, he's got a cast on his arm, and up he goes, and I literally didn't do anything. Okay, he pushed himself up. Now I want you to take a step with your left foot, honey. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold his trunk, and I'm going to get behind. So now you can see why I needed that little extra room in order to get there. Now look, George, that's where we're heading. Okay, my friend? So now, I'm going to hold under his forearm. I've got one hand kind of, so he doesn't tip to the side. I'm kind of keeping it up on the left side. And he's going to take his steps. He's going to walk over. Now, I'm going to turn him. Oh, that was beautiful, buddy. Did you see that, Miss Jane? That was great. So he did that with his foot. Now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to lean him forward a little bit. And I'm going to ask him to push through his feet to try to stand so I can get him back there a little bit. Now this is how I've been doing it, is I take his feet little bits at a time, like this. So there's not too much twisting, and I've got a hand on his shoulder so I know where he is the whole time. And I'm going to just move him further onto here. Because what I need to try to do is get him on the foot plates so that Georgie can help me to get himself on here a little bit. So there's a little bit of pushing and shoving, I will admit. Oh, and I forgot to move that trunk support over a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to get astride him so I'm not doing too much bending. And what again I want is that when he does the push to lift up the weight from his butt, I kind of want to pull his trunk a little bit towards me and forward, because the more forward I can get his trunk, the more his bottom is going to go back. So it's like the opposite. Shoulders forward, butt goes back. Shoulders go back, butt goes forward. So, are you ready, Georgie? Give me a, wait. Let's get your foot back on here. I want you to give me a good push, bud. Good push. Push. There. All right. Now the key with this stander that really makes a big difference to his positioning is to make sure that his butt is all the way back. And actually, it's pretty good. But just for good measure, I'm going to push him forward a little bit, and I'm going to just give one little extra yank. So literally, I just pulled on the back of his pants. But you saw that I pushed his trunk forward first before I brought him back. So then the first thing that you're going to want to put on here for safety is this. So I'm going to keep my hands on him. I'm going to go around so I can see what I'm doing, where the loop is. And I know this is kind of hard to see with the iPad, but there's the matching loop on this side, and it's just Velcro. And I'm going to just attach this so I know he's not going to go out. And he's not in any danger of falling right now, and he's usually pretty good. But sometimes he can get excited, like if something extraordinary just happened and he might lift up his leg and start kicking. And since he doesn't have like the trunk support on, I just want to make sure he's secured someplace. Okay, so the next thing now that I'm going to do is put this on here. Well, let me take a look at his hips. Okay, not too bad. And I'm going to get this hip support in there. So again, it's going to slide right down into the notch, but I have to loosen the knot first. And then I need the